Hi, I'm Shane.
I'm Kelsey,
And
this
this
is Dixie.
And we are Love Up for Life. And for 200 weeks, we have been traveling around the country in this very self-built home on wheels.
Because just like this week, all 200 of those weeks are on video for you to go back and watch, and you should definitely do so. Be sure and hit those subscribe buttons while you're at it. This week, we are hanging out in Virginia, getting very, very close to the end of this Airstream remodel project. This thing is turning out awesome, and we cannot wait to show you all of the progress.
Good morning, y'all, and welcome to another week on the hillside in Virginia. We've been here for several weeks working on a lot of projects around this property, but my favorite one definitely being this Airstream. Over the past several weeks, it's been cleaned up by myself and its wonderful owner. It had a lot of lichen growing all over it and poorly installed caulk on every seam you can imagine. And together we've really turned it into something. Now I've changed out the electrical system in this thing, where it's going to be just a 20 amp connection to a house because we're not running any appliances. We're turning this more into a pool house, a hangout. It's never really going to see the road again. If it does, it's just going to be moved to its new location. This is not a travel trailer any longer. My intent is to build a new shower, install a new toilet in here, as well as patch in all of these cuts we made because there was some serious water leaking into this thing. And today I'm finishing up the last of sealing this silver bullet up so we don't have any more water intrusion. Y'all hang on, this week's gonna be fun. I might even do some tile work. So I'm removing these lights to replace some of these beautiful LED ones because we're gonna use them as ambient lighting. Check out this dude. I hope I don't scream like a little girl. He had the place covered in spider webs this morning. He's gotta go. His house is about to be destroyed. See you tomorrow, buddy. Boy, this thing's like a National Geographic episode today. Oh, that's wild looking. Sorry, y'all gotta go. I've been wondering where all these ants are coming from. I think I found the hospital. Most of what I'm working on today is all about trying to get this thing watertight. And if you've never done one of these before, it's basically just 2,000 little projects that all come together for one outcome, which is this trailer looking beautiful. So far today I've been working on, I removed all this trim, and this handy dandy little bracket here had to come off because these bolts run directly into the framework in there. And this was a huge source of water intrusion on the inside, on this side, as well as the one back there. So I did that one yesterday, I did this one today. I ended up having to remove the trim most of the way around. And I've also been working on lights today. And this is the old light. Now, you have a positive wire that comes in from the camper and goes into this. And then the negative is here, and it's soldered to this. And these were installed the same across the front. But the new age lights have a positive and a negative wire on them. So what I'm having to do is, you can see that screw head in there. I'm having to run the negative wire back into the housing and ground it to the camper itself because it's just the positive that appears. Also, what I've been working on today is these patches up here. So one was the antenna and the other one was, I don't remember what it was. It doesn't matter. It's gone now, whatever it was. And we needed to patch it back up. So we went with trying to stay with the same look of the Airstream. So we bought aluminum plate. And then what I did was I used modified truss screws because the plate itself was quite thin and the skin is wildly thin as well. So I was scared the rivets were going to not really hold very well. So I went ahead and used screws as well as the same clear lap sealant that I've been using all over this thing. Tell you what, I think I have about accomplished my goal of making a watertight silver tube. I'm still looking for leaks though. Well, there was just as much caulk gobbed under this thing and around this vent as there was around the lip of it. I do believe this was a point of water coming in, and it looks like it's been removed and replaced a couple of times, but I've got it all cleaned up, and I'm gonna be adding a new layer of sealant and putting this little turtle shell back on top of it. And I think that's about all I'm gonna get accomplished today. We'll do some more tomorrow. Good morning, y'all. I would say it's a beautiful morning on a Virginia mountainside, but it's a bit muggy today, and I'm bracing myself for a couple days of rain. I'm still actively working on sealing this whole camper up to make sure no water gets in over the next couple days. This morning I'm working on the signal lights. But really the reason I started this video was, where did he go? This RV has turned into quite the animal exhibit. Let's see if I can find him. There he is. Oh, he's pretty. Oh no. Look at that. How gorgeous. I bet that's gonna make a beautiful butterfly one day. I gotta get him out of here safely though. Wonder how he got in. Morning, y'all, and welcome to another hillside in Virginia. Last night it rained and we finally got to really test to make sure there was no water coming into the camper from all the sealing we have done, and we almost succeeded. Unfortunately, a leak was persistent that throughout all of our sealing we have not been able to see it because we took off this awning yesterday and the bulk of it wraps around this, and a rod fits into this sleeve here, and it holds the end close to the camper. And it's had an awning and a rod in it until yesterday, and I didn't notice this, but at some point along the way, someone drilled all the way through this rod, and you can see the hole in there that goes into the camper. And this whole time, water has been coming in through these holes, down the rod, down the trough, and just funneling into these holes, and it has wreaked havoc on this camper. Fortunately, I was able to find it today with the use of a garden hose because it was just unnoticeable to us. We had sealed over the top, but we just didn't know it was underneath. So I'm gonna get this patched up. I'm gonna use some epoxy and get it solidly sealed down there inside of the track so we don't have to deal with this problem anymore. And hopefully that is the end of the water woes of this Airstream. I'm ready to get to floor putting this thing and build a shower and a kitchen and all the fun stuff. This is not the fun stuff, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, we've been working on this thing for quite a while trying to get it sealed up. It had multiple leaks in it. Today, I think I finally found the last few that were present. One of them was up here, and it was created by a previous owner. Earlier, I had speculated that a rivet was loose and it was seeping underneath this rail. But what actually happened was some delightful person drilled these two holes all the way through the camper in an effort to hold the rod in that goes up here. And they didn't seal them up. So these two almost half-inch holes have been draining water into this camper for, I have no idea. Those holes look old. And my other one this morning was the window. It was the top of it here. So I cleaned it all out again. And I went with an epoxy, the same thing I sealed these holes up here with. I sealed all the way around the top of this window as well. And then I went over it with my lap sealant as well. I do believe we're good to go. It's time to get out the old foam gun and get things completely sealed up in here so I can add in insulation and finally put in all this wood I've had. Boy, howdy, I'm excited. Well, y'all, I got a lot done today, but unfortunately it looks like I did nothing. I managed to get all the insulation put in around to fill up these holes, as well as get all the wood cut for it, as well as the ones up front. But we have another rainstorm coming tonight, and I want one more chance for Mother Nature to really test this thing out and make sure there's absolutely no more leaks before we seal it up and say goodbye. So, let's hope it's dry in here in the morning. Until then, I'm gonna go sit on my butt. Good morning, y'all. I got in here early this morning and everything appears to be dry today, so I'm gonna start sealing everything up. I'm really excited. Let's see if we can make some progress on this thing today before more rain comes tonight. Now I got that all finished, it's time to figure out the next puzzle piece. Oh, that was my drill. This is where the old shower used to be, and there was a plastic shroud that made a bench, and it came down over this piece of wood, and you had a pan here, and it drained into that drain. That was cracked and breaking and just failing in general, so we're going to rebuild this. I'm going to be adding cedar to the walls, and as far as the pan goes, I'm going to make a pan with all the leftover tile from the bathroom project I just did up in the big house. Let's see what we can figure out. This one's going to have some creativity in it, y'all. Well, I'm tired, but I got a lot done today. I made a lot of sawdust, which is nice. I've been making a lot of sawdust around here lately. A lot of everything else, though. I started with my framework for the shower, but unfortunately I ran out of the hardware that I'm using to attach the stripping. So this is going to act as the frame inside of a wall, because this is pretty useless to us. There's aluminum ribs in here, but I don't really know where they're at, and it's too difficult to find them. So all I'm doing is I'm taking self-tapping screws that I've countersunk into this wood, and I'm tapping directly into the metal. And then I'll put sheeting over this, and then our cedar will go over that. And I'm going to do that on all 4 walls. We'll get some more done tomorrow. I guess we'll start going to the parts store in the morning. So I've been watching this robin's nest over the camper I've been working on for weeks now. It looks like little dude tried to fly, but he hasn't quite figured it out yet. Ain't cute? Well, I think it's lunchtime. I hear Kelsey ringing her dinner bell. She doesn't actually have one of those, but I think she should. Made a lot of progress in here today. I went ahead and put this wall back up. This has been laying against this cabinet here for quite a while, and I'm happy to have it out of my way. And I've replaced this wall with just Luan currently, but it's getting a lot more added to it. As you can see, we're losing a little bit of square inch, but I couldn't really figure out another way to get cedar boards hung up inside of here other than doing it the way I'm doing it. I'm super excited about it though. This is going to be a lot more rigid when I'm done with it. All of these supports that go across the front are going to make it something where if you were to slip or fall and you fall into a wall or you try to grab it, there's a chance that it's going to hold you up, versus previously if you grabbed a wall, you were going to rip the whole thing down. I'm going to go eat and come back and do some more. All right. I think I'm gonna call it a day. It looks better than it did this morning. Tomorrow, it'll look like a shower. Maybe there'll be a sink there too. We'll see. Morning, y'all, and welcome to another beautiful day on a hillside in Virginia. Wendy came in after me last night and cleaned this thing up, and I'm very grateful for that. She volunteered to always help me clean up my sawdust. Today, we're going to be bringing this thing to life. I built all the bones yesterday to hold up my intended plans today. Yo, hang on. It's going to be very different by this evening. I'm pretty sure I can smell Kelsey's cooking from here. I think it's time for lunch. I've been working on adding luan to this framework that I built yesterday. Don't worry, this is not the finished look. This is just giving me something to glue to. I'll do some more when I get back from lunch. Hopefully this part goes a lot faster than this ridiculous bow. Well, as usual, I didn't get as far as I wanted to, but I got as far as I got today. I did get the whole shower skin, so it's ready for its final layer, which is going to be all cedar, and it's going to be gorgeous. I also built some framework here so I could test fit the sink and the toilet in this space to make sure we have our dynamics all straight. So tomorrow I can come in and frame it all and cover it accordingly. But I think it's time to quit. It sounds like Kelsey's warming my banjo up for me. Hey, buddy. Hey, that's mine, you know.
Playing it enough.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm in a good mood today, and I get to do something fun today. I came in and got started a little before I talked to you guys. I apologize. But what I'm working on is fabricating the countertop that's going to house and cover everything in this area. And this is the beginning of it. For any of you that's never watched me build something before, I build most things in place. So you find your solid anchor points, which we have here. These strips are not quite anchored completely yet. I was testing their location. And last night we decided on a fitment of the sink and where the faucet's going to be. And today that means I can move forward. So I'm going to keep building this into place. And then we'll get it all sand down and looking pretty. Yo, hang on. Today's going to be dusty. While I was on my lunch break, a little white car with a very overloaded trunk showed up. All of our tile came in for the second bathroom. This one's gonna be pretty too. Well, y'all, we have reached the end of another wonderful week here in Virginia, and I'm willing to bet we're going to have another one next week too, because I didn't quite get finished. As you can see, this place is still quite the construction site. Now all this I'm very excited about it. It looks rough. It is rough. It's rough installed. It's rough built. So what's going to happen tomorrow is I'm going to come and disassemble all of this, sand it all down, route my edges, make it all beautiful and pretty, and put it back together. And then these pieces of plywood that are laying here, these are serving as the bases that I'm going to be connecting the finished countertop to. So you're not going to be seeing plywood, and you're not going to be seeing ugly pallet wood either. I can't wait to show you guys this next week. Make sure y'all come back and check it out. I've put a lot of work into this little camper. Now I think I'm gonna go find my banjo, maybe an ice cold beverage.
Guys, we want to take the time to say thank you to each and every one of you who have been following us along all 200 of these weeks, or even just through this video. If you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button, comment below, and let us know that you're watching so that we know to be grateful for you.
Did you know a fun fact about the Love Hut is it was only intended to last for 52 weeks. This thing has been traveling all over the country for years now, and it has been an awesome experience. Check out some of our other social media for different points of view of that experience, like Facebook and Instagram, and you can even hit up our Etsy to get some of Kelsey's beautiful wire wrap jewelry.
Guys, we will see you next week with even more updates to this camper and maybe some updates on some future adventures for us as well. Peace out. Have a good one.
Bye, y'all.